Hi guys, it's Amy with Aim to Plan, and today I am here with my July planner flip-throughs. So in this video, I do flip through my functional planners. These are all the planners that I basically use for my personal and work and social media planning. I don't in this video flip through my girls' memory books or any of my home binders, just because I feel like those serve different purposes for me. They're not really planning, they're more so like reference in the case of my home binders and or memory keeping in the case of the memory books for my two girls. So today I'm only going to be talking about the things that I use for what I consider like planning or like the functional planning. And so I've got a bunch of stuff here. I initially started this video with only these two planners and realized that actually in July I had reincorporated several of my planners back into like I guess everyday use. And so I went and pulled in these envelopes right here, and we're going to be talking about pretty much all of this. So I love watching these videos, recording these videos, and just getting a sense of how people use their planners. And so I just love these types of videos. And so hopefully this is inspiration for you to use your planners, and it's a chance for you to hear about how I use my planners. And we'll just get into it. So without further ado, I am going to start off with, just for the sake of like clearing out my space, I think I'm gonna do my personal planning last. So I'll set that to the side. And these right here, these envelopes do count as part of my personal system, like the things that I do for my specialized setups. So we're going to start here with my work planner. So my work planner is a big happy planner. You can see here it's got these covers. I'm just going to flip through July, and so I'm skipping all the beginning pages here essentially and we're going to go in here to July. Okay, so this is actually July 1st right here. July started on a Monday, which is kind of cool. You get to, see what it looks like with like the full week. So this is the week of July. Now for my work planner, I do use a dashboard layout, as you can see here. I put events on this side, so you can see I have these notes for like meetings, and then I track my work hours here, and then I have here on this side, this is like the currently page for July. The divider goes right here, but I give the dividers to my father-in-law, and so this section is the currently page, and I just use this for priorities, just like it says. I would have put more priorities here if I had them for the week. These were even more priorities, and then this was just like a to-do list. So I just modified this to work as a dashboard, like the left-hand side dashboard, since it was just the currently page, and it works for me. And so it kind of just looks like that for all of the weeks. I did very excited that I did this. I went in and decorated all the pages beforehand, like in a single like sitting, and so I had all of these pages decorated. Some of them are, you can see, very basic, because I do need to take all of the to-do lists and priorities go here, to-do list here, hours and meetings, but I also keep it very simple. But I just like having the stickers just to make me smile when I open up my planner. And so that is all. Now you can see here, this is basically July 31st. And again, this is like the currently page for August, and I just use it. And so I will say that in August, I have moved to a different system. So you can see here, the pages here are blank, but that is my work planner. I think fairly straightforward, right? So we're gonna go here then and talk about my personal planning. Now, personal planning is basically, I would say, all of this. So I consider personal planning to be anything that is not work related. You'll see here in July, one other thing that I consider work related is social media. It's mostly just like a hobby for me. I enjoy recording YouTube videos and talking about my planner system. But since I do also like make a little bit of money from it, I consider it work, just because I get paid for it. And so for July, I normally, well, I guess for 2024, I normally use a big planner, a big teacher planner for it. But in July, I switch to something else. So social media is in here, so you'll see that. All right, so let's get into it then. Personal planning, I decided in the beginning of July just to use this planner, and so what I did was, I'm trying to get this off screen so that way it's just not like color, like just messing up the color. So let's Try to zoom in a little bit then. All right, so this is like a mini size happy planner, and I decided in July, beginning of July, that I would try to use down my mini stash. I did go through my stash and just kind of organized everything and found like a bunch of like random mini pages, and I was like, it's just time to get rid of it. I have a couple of sticky notes here and a band-aid. You can see like I am totally functional. It is not cute at all, but that's what I have in the pocket. And so I did set up this this planner as my July planner lineup, and you can kind of see that. I'll link it in the description if you want to see how I kind of put this together. So I won't explain all the pieces. Let's just go ahead and show you the after the pen. So this is the first section. This first section is monthly, and so what I used in this section was like a converted mini vertical, and I decided to do it to where it's a month on 4 pages. So you can see here's the first half of July, and here's the second half of July. And again, I tried my best to like sit down in one sitting and just kind of decorate it with stickers and use all these stickers. These stickers mostly are from Willow Way stickers, and so I've just been trying to use up my sticker stash as well, and that's pretty much it. And so after that, it's just empty. So then the second section is this weekly section. This section is a more detailed, I guess, like breakdown of each of my weeks. All right, and so this is July 1st right here. And I think this might have been the only week that I actually dated, but I do write in, you can see here, all of the big events, but also all the small events that are happening, things that come up at the last minute, just like anything that takes me away from the house, I normally put in here, right? And so here is the 8th, like right here, oh my gosh, this was the assassination attempt on Trump. I won't get into politics, but of course that's something that I would note in here, and so I did note it in here. I should have dated it, but again, I have all of these notes. I had a UTI right here. All right, and then the 28th, again, just taking notes. Right here, oh, I was traveling, I think. I don't know. I'm not quite sure why I don't have notes there. Oh, I think I was traveling. No, I have no idea. I have no idea why I don't have notes there. I must not have done anything on Friday. Right, this week we were traveling. We were in Destin this week, so this is the 28th. Right, this was my Christmas in July spread. I love it. It's so cute. Right, and that was it for the weeklies. These pages are weekly mini. As you can see here, this first set was partially undated, but then as I move into future pages, they are dated, and so I'll have to redate, like white it out and then redate it at some point. So this third section was continuing my catch-all. This is where I'm taking actual tasks. So not just events, but like what I mentioned in the weekly, I'm writing down events, major events, or like things that take me out of the house. Here I'm actually writing down the things I need to do. And some of these are things that I did in the moment and I'm just journaling about it, but these are things I did inside the house. So like, for example, here I recorded YouTube videos in my house. I'm listening to a podcast that was in my house, and so on and so forth. I also, of course, have task lists. And so these things like here, return Walmart items, this was a task that I put here because I needed to remember it. And when I actually did it, I did go back in here in the weekly section and put it down that I went to Walmart. So it can be where I duplicate things. And so these are just my messy notes, totally messy. You can see here, it's just my task list. And I only finished basically until the 21st. And that was it. I did use some stamping here. I did a terrible job right here, but I did do some stamping. And that ends it. You can see here, I started in August. These notes right here, this little sticky note should actually go right there because that was I guess like the end of my to-do list for July. And then again, here it starts in August. This is a whole different setup for August. So I will talk about that in my August flip through. All right, this fourth section is a blank one. And here is my chores. And so I am tracking, just things I'm doing at my house to clean up. And so here, one of the big things is I decided to go back and just start binging the Organized 365 podcast again. I binged it last year in 2023, and then I haven't listened to it consistently in 2024. And so just this July, I decided to go through and listen basically from February until July. And so there were I think maybe 30 podcasts. So I listened to all of those. And while I was listening to them, I was doing all of this cleaning. And so I just put what I did and just put the date. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I was using these kind of, again, like just random pages that I had in my stash and just took notes in random spots. More notes. This was a random sheet of paper in my stash. Here's some, these are like sticky, stickers. Right, here's some planner projects and just again, just random notes to myself. I like to talk to myself in my planner, as you can see here. Right, and so then here's the 20th, and I think that might be kind of the end of it. No, There's some more. I bought this like new, let's see if it shows what it looks like, but it's kind of like a fabric dresser drawer. It looks like this. So I'm trying to organize my bedroom and clear out my closet. I talked about that in a video of mine during the summer, where I'm trying to clean out my master bedroom closet. And so I purchased this dresser to be able to move some of the stuff in my closet into that dresser. I don't actually own any dressers, so I know that's kind of weird, but my kids do have dressers, but I don't personally have one for myself. And so I purchased that for that. And then a couple of other notes for the end of July, and then here is starting August, as you can see there. Okay, and that was my chore section, right? This section, I mentioned that I don't do any kind of like flip throughs of my home reference binder. This information right here actually does go into my home reference binder, but you can see they're like minor notes. It's not something that my husband would need once I passed, or like if he needed to reference something for the house. They're mostly just notes for me. So even though I will put them into my home binder, for the short term, at some point, if it gets too full in my home binders, these will be one of the very first things that gets cleaned out. I actually am planning to record a video talking about like how I clean out a planner and just like make decisions for what gets moved out and what stays, so that might be coming up pretty soon. All right, so again, this goes in my home reference binder. Oh, I'll also mention too, these 3 sections right here, the monthly, the weekly, and the tasks, these are all my like personal planners. Now that July is over and that I've flipped through and shown you these pages in this video, what I will do is actually move them into a planner, and I'll kind of show you that a little bit later. This video is like very long already. Okay, so this next section is my food log and my health section. I don't exercise. I'm not a big exerciser, but I have been trying to get back on track with like taking care of drinking enough water and just making sure that I get enough steps in the day. I hardly ever hit 10,000 steps, but that is going to be my goal. I really want to try to hit 10,000 steps each day. I'm doing pretty good to break 5,000 every day, honestly. Again, I'm not an exerciser, but so these are just some like random pages that I had in my stash again, but here's the actual parts that I wrote on. So this is like the eat well section, so I just logged what I ate, and this one says be active. So what I started off here tracking was the number of steps, then like the I guess like mileage, how the distance, okay, and then how many calories that burned, and then I decided to track my sleep. But then I also noticed that the sleep number was the very first number that I got. So this number is for basically the 30th, June 30th to July the 1st, and so I get this number in the morning. So I decided moving forward that I would just put the sleep number at the very top, and so it's the total time I slept, 8 hours and 38 minutes, you can see here. And then this number in the parentheses is the hours of deep sleep that I got. And I do try to get at least 4 hours of deep sleep. I feel like that's what works for my body. And so I try not to run any kind of sleep debt. And like feel tired all the time. So I do try to sleep. You can see here like 9.5 hours. I do try to sleep, right? And so again, that's kind of what I tracked here for the first couple of days. And then I realized I don't really care about like the distance or the calories. And so I started just putting the hours for sleep as well as the steps. And that's pretty much it. This side is just like any notes to myself about like health related stuff. So like going to the dentist and getting my teeth cleaned, right? And self-care related stuff. Also just like random notes that I just like to give to myself. And then here's more food, right? Here's more food. When I have like, for example, like right here where it's like I put brunch, but I didn't put what I ate, I will usually put in an additional sheet and just kind of track what I ate. Now, it really serves no purpose except I just like to look at that. I like to know what I ate. Here, I don't use the habit tracker for anything except to track my liquid intake. I'm very bad about drinking water, and so the W that's circled is where I have a 40-ounce water bottle that I fill up and just drink all of it. And so I circle it when I drink all the water in that water bottle. And so again, it's just more notes. Right, this one doesn't have any stickers, and I really can't use any stickers in here just because it is so small, and you can see I'm squeezing notes in here. But yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, and then here is the end of July. Pretty much July 31st was Wednesday, and then I do just kind of end it, and then I start August here, right? And so that will, like I said, just like with my other planners, I will move these pages into my actual like health planner for archiving purposes. And so this section is my social media. Now, again, for most of 2024, I was using a big planner, a big teacher planner, but I decided to make it small, mostly just because I had the pages I wanted to use them up. And so this is a Bloom Daily Planner. It is on coils, but I cut it off the coils and then put some sticker on it and then just repunched it and put it in here. But I just use this to track any Instagram posts that I make and like my recording schedule and publication schedule for YouTube. And then these were just notes for, I was reorganizing my home binders. So these are just kind of notes for that. This was me kind of thinking about how many expander discs I had. That's kind of what that note is. And then here more filming. Again, just notes to myself. Right, here are just, when I run out of room, I just put on a sticky note or an extra sheet of paper and just stick it in here. That's pretty much what I do. All right, and then this is, again, more notes, things like that. And then this is getting very close to the end here. I loved how I decorated this. Again, just like with all of my other planners, I did decorate it in one sitting and just put all the stickers down and, you know, just used it for the month. I do really love doing that just because it gets me to use my stickers, but I don't feel like I have to do it every single week. All right, and then here is the end of July. July 31st is right here. I didn't do anything. I was on vacation this week, so I ended up recording a bunch of videos, but I didn't even post them. So that is all. Now, this is the majority of my personal planning, and I was in here pretty much every single day, probably I would say 10 or 12 times a day, and so this was the bulk of my planning. This is what I started off the month doing, and this is what I set up in my July planner lineup setup video, and so again, I'll link that in the description so you can watch that. But in the, I would say like maybe the first couple of days, like the first week of July, I also decided to, you saw this note, I also decided to reorganize my home binders. And one of the things that I noticed as I was reorganizing my home binders was that I had all of these extra pages. All right, so I was organizing my home binders. I mentioned in this setup video, I was reorganizing all of my mini happy planner pages, or just planner pages in general. Then I went through and organized all of my classic size planner pages. I just have pages like just all these inserts for planners everywhere. So I decided to try to get back into using these. These are all planners that I had in my lineup for 2024, and I decided to either repurpose it or do something with it. And so I will link the video where I talk about breaking down my reading planner and repurposing that one, just so you can see that and get a feel for how this happened and kind of what this whole mess is. But I do, just like I mentioned, for the planners in here, when they're in this Frankenplanner, I like to keep it like this for the month. But once the month is over, I will take these pages out and move them into their planner. So just as an example, I consider this kind of, it's not really a Frankenplanner. This is part of my Sunday basket system. Again, I'll link the video if you're like, what is she talking about? But one of the planners, this one on the very top, this is one where I basically took my reading planner and converted it and turned it into like a personal growth planner. I don't have any notes on here. Basically, it's completely empty. I just had the pages in here, but these are the pages for July. You can see they're kind of like mixed out of order too. That's just the nature of having them in these envelopes, which is one of the reasons why I decided, you know, I would move back into like actual disc-bound planning. But you can see it's totally empty. I'm missing the page here. It's in here somewhere. Probably back here somewhere. No, I have no idea. I'm missing a page. Let's see. It's got to be in here somewhere. I've got some other personal notes in this envelope I don't really want to show off. Okay, I have no idea where it is. But there's definitely another page that goes here. But then this is really the week that matters. This is the only note I have here for July because that's really the only thing that we did, right? And so these pages, now that I flip through it, like with literally nothing in it, I'm going to put it back into its planner. So this is the planner that I put together in July for growth, and I again like reorganized all of my notes and did all sorts of things with just setting up my classic pages. And so these pages will be popped in basically in here. and I honestly didn't even really use it, so I might go back and just take a look at July if there's anything else I can do to fill it out. But it could be where I just decide that, I mean, these pages are empty, right, that I will use these again for a later date. So that's something, again, I think I may record a separate video to kind of talk about that. I know I did that for like repurposing a planner, but I want to maybe talk about like how I move things around. I don't know if it would even make sense. I feel like my videos are kind of all over the place, but so that was the first one. It really had nothing, as you saw there. Another planner that I had at the beginning of 2024 was my family planner. And this planner, I stopped using for quite a while. I would say for maybe like 2 or 3 months. I used it, I think, for like January and February, and that was pretty much it. And I used my family and friends planner to track like the text messages that I receive, any big messages on Facebook that I see. I just want to know what my friends are doing and just like have a record of it, you know? So instead of having it float everywhere, and you know, of course I can see it on Facebook, but also I just wanted it in a planner, you know? So I decided to restart it in July. This part of it was a little bit of backdating. I feel like I started it kind of right here in like the 3rd or the 4th. And so I decided to decorate. In this planner, I did decorate week by week just because I wasn't sure if I was going to keep up with it, but I did a really good job, I think, in July. And so this is what it looks like. Again, I'm just putting messages to myself of like things I'm doing with my family, any text messages I receive, you know, just all the things family and friend related, right? And then here is the second week. Okay, and so here, I was like, oh no, I'm missing another page. Okay, this might be the same place where the personal growth planner was. So from the 14th, and it jumps straight to the 22nd. Oh, that week I was on vacation. Yeah, so the 15th through the 21st I was on vacation. That might be where the pages in the personal growth planner went. Okay, so I did skip a week. And then here, oh, I don't know what these are. There's like some random notes that I have here. Again, if I need the notes, I just put it on a random sheet of paper. That's what it looks like. Right, and so that is that. I did enjoy doing this, and so I don't know, I might go back to doing it. I just really enjoy doing it. I set up something in August to keep track of family notes, again, just because I like to know and keep track of my family, things like that. But those pages will go into my family planner. Okay, I noticed I had my address on camera the entire time, so I will go through this one, and then I have one more. It's my finances one, which is like one page, but that one had my address on the screen. Okay, so this one is my faith, and again, this will be moved into my faith planner once I flip through it and just kind of get it a little bit organized. But I pulled out the entire thing here just because I feel like the color was all over the place. But I decided, again, just kind of right around here, 3rd and 4th, to go back into using the Faith Warrior Planner. This planner is from 2019, but the dates starting in March lined up perfectly with 2024. So I haven't had to redate this at all. I only redated January and February. And so this is what this looks like. Right, and so I have to be careful because there might be some personal notes in here, so there might be things that are blurred out in this section. This is like an envelope, like a stamp die cut one that I got from Amazon. I'll link that in the description if you're interested in doing that. But these are just notes that the kids took in Sunday school. This was from a calendar, and so I just kind of like cut it down to size and glued it in here. I thought that was cute. Right, so this is the week of July 8th, right? Like, again, talking a lot about the assassination attempt here. Thank God he was safe, right? Again, I'm trying not to get political, but, you know, you never want to wish, like, violence on anyone like that. That is not the way of Jesus. Let's just say it like that. All right, so I have had these pages, and they're something that I printed out a long time ago. I have no idea where I got them from, so if you ask me for this, I'm sorry, I won't be able to find it. But I found them somewhere. I just did something like a chapter summary or like a book summary for the Bible, and I found this set, and I just really enjoyed it. I am listening to Heart Dive actually I listen on Spotify, but she's also on YouTube. And we've made it through First Chronicles. I have these pages, and I just like to note when I finish a book of the Bible, and so I just stick these books in there. I do have, I used these same pages in like 2023. They're back here somewhere. I used these same pages in 2023, so I don't have like the full set anymore, but I I stopped using them after a while, and so for 2024, as I make it through some of these books, I'm going to continue using those pages. All right, this was from Sunday school. Rose made this. They were obviously talking about Noah's Ark. All right, Sophia colored this in church in our worship service. I don't know what this is. She must have done that too as well. All right, and then this page is just what the faithful year looks like before all the writing. That's the page in between the weekly pages. All right, so here's the 15th. I'll flip through it a little bit quicker. I purchased some coloring books from Amazon. That will go up soon. I just haven't had time to record some of these videos or like get them posted. All right, so here's the 22nd through the 28th. All right, and so again, these pages right here, I finished several like smaller minor profits, so got those in there. All right, I don't know what's happening here. Like it's kind of, oh, okay, it's kind of stuck. I meant to trim that, I think. All right, so this was for the week of the 28th, right? So this is the 28th. Sophia is going through the 10 Commandments, as you can see here. All right, and then you can see I used a paper clip. I just kind of clipped it there just to be able to keep track of the pages. But this is the other page that belongs to the 28th, the week of the 28th ending. And then this is the end of it right here. So I clipped these together because I wanted to actually try to have July 29th, 30th, and 31st here. And then that was it. The rest of these are just like notes. I clipped them together. These are all like coloring pages. If I can flip through them, they're all coloring pages. And then I have one of those die cut envelopes that I use, and then these book summaries, and I keep them all in this. This has been really handy just to take to church, and now that these pages are done, I will put them back into my faith planner and kind of get reset for it won't be for August, because August I have a whole different system, but it will be eventually ready for, you know, another month. Probably in September I'm going to go back to like the full setup. All right, I have one more page. It's literally one more page. This was my green, I can't show you this envelope, but it was the green envelope that says finances. I noticed while I was recording, it has to be edited out. I had my address on the screen for like a good long while, but you won't know any of that because I cut it out of the video. But I do have this one page that I use for monthly budget, right? And now I'm realizing I don't have my expense tracker, but I also have an expense tracker. Let me grab that real quick. And that is this thing right here. And so this is where I keep all of my expenses, right? So I started here with July 5th. I'm gonna hold it up because it's so tiny. I don't want to zoom in and out all the time. All right, so this is July 8th. I did actually decorate these pages. These were my videos, Plan With Me's for July. So I know I recorded these videos. I was very excited to like have weekly Plan With Me's, but it's so, to me, so stressful to like record videos like that. I think it's good to have that habit, but it's just not my style to try to do that type of planning every single week. I just like to have it one and done. So I like to sit down and just do all of my stickering at one time and then just put my plans in, right? So you can see here I just track all the things. When I need more space, I just add more paper and I just keep going from there. That's pretty much it, right? Again, these videos, the stickers before the pen were videos on my channel. Right, and I think this is it. Right, so I forgot I had that. Like, I have so many planners, you guys. Like, there's stuff everywhere, you know. But this one I keep in my purse. I do also have in here like my future planners, like a calendar to keep track of future things. And so I have my budget one, which I'm gonna leave to the side because like I have my like address all over the place. Right, I have these. Again, I'll take these pages out in order to put them into their regular planners. I had, of course, the Frankenplanner. Again, I'll break this one down as well. And then last but not least, the one that I did first, which was like ages ago, is my work planner. And so these were the planners that I used in July. I know it's a lot, and I know the way that I kind of plan is like a little bit all over the place, but to me, well, it works for me. So that's just how I plan. I have been planning this way for a while now. I still change up my system every once in a while, but I've been Frankenplanning and using multiple planners for a very long time, and I just enjoy it. So definitely do your own style. If this is not the way that you like to plan, then I would not encourage you to do this. If you feel like it's just too many pieces and too many different places to check things and too many different ways of checking information, then, you know, keep it into a planner and keep it disbound, or, you know, just use one planner, but definitely do your own system. But I like to watch these videos to get inspiration for how other people do it, just because I just like to know. And I'm just curious about how other people plan. So with that being said, this is how I do it, and I hope you got something from it, even if it's not the way that you would do it. I hope it can inspire you to understand your way of functional planning. And so if you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to my channel, and until the next video, bye guys.